with us, we dangerous. So get lit up, pull the trigger.
Welcome everyone to the latest Radiant Esports video. 4 years of Radiant Esports. That sounds mental to even, them words to even come out my mouth. I've kept it going so long, even though, especially the past few months, has been tough. It's been super tough. But listen to negatives. I'm not here to talk about negatives. I've been thinking recently about nostalgia and looking back on the good old days, the simpler days. Hopping on just to play, hopping on with your friends just to play and scrim and practice and enter tournaments and aim to win tournaments. And I love nostalgia, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I think about it, I smile. I'm always happy about it. So I thought in this video, to celebrate 4 years, I would take you on a little journey, a little roller coaster on what the main highlights have been for the last 4 years, I think. And I'm not gonna lie, I've made a little list. So if you see me glancing to my right over here, I've made a little list that I'm gonna go off. I've made this list in 5 minutes, and of course I've seen everything here that's happened at Radiant, but it's still very difficult to remember every single thing that's big that's happened over the last 4 years. But I have made some I'm gonna mention a notable few. But firstly, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's stuck through and supported Radiant through the last 4 years. It truly means a lot. We've been through a lot. We've had low lows and we've had high highs, and it's been mental. And like I said, I truly don't think I'd be anywhere without the Radiant brand, and hence why I've kept it so close to me and so tight, and pushing as much resources and much time as I can to see the end goal really of being me, full-time job Radiant Esports, some of my friends, streamers, content creators, full-time under Radiant Esports, and a couple of other people regarding management and staff. But that's the end goal, of course, it is. And I truly think we can do that. I truly think we can, we have the capability of doing that. It's just how much time and effort I can put in towards it. And it's difficult because I have a job now, and it's a lot of time put towards it. But anyways, I just want to take a little journey. We have I'd say 11, 12 notable points that I'm going to cover, but it all starts at the beginning. We started in Advanced Warfare. I started this little project called Radiant Esports. We had a totally different logo. You'll see this on screen now. And then we transitioned to a different logo, which was a bit controversial. We'll get into that though. We started Advanced Warfare. We started just a group of friends. I was on one team. I think it was Radiant Orange and Radiant. We had so many teams. It was crazy. But I was the captain of one team. Nothing truly notable happened in Advanced Warfare, but other than winning some online tournaments, on the Xbox scene. This was back when Call of Duty was the main platform for Xbox. Online tournament wins were good then. Back then, they were something notable of the sort. You know what I mean? It was better than nothing. And we were getting a name out there in that small little community, but we were in our own little circle. There was this circle in Xbox, and there was different circles, and we were in our own little bubble. So it wasn't like we owned the Xbox scene. It was just we were a small part of it, a small slice of the pie, if you want to put it like that. So we won a couple of EGLs. I won one. The other team won a couple because they were better. I obviously the all going. I'm not. Play has never been my main focus or my main skill, in a sense. But moving on to Black Ops 3, this is when we picked up a bit more success, if you want to say that. So this is when Call of Duty moved over to the PS4. A lot of people couldn't afford a PS4, including us, including most of our players. So we stuck to Xbox, and we grew that Xbox scene. And wow, even when I look back on it, I can't even take the mick out of the Xbox scene just because it was. Some people may said it was a lower skill gap, let's say. But honestly, looking back on it, we had a really good bunch of people going there, and a lot of people I still know they're from the Xbox scene, and we're still quite tight. But wow, I'm really happy we did that instead of going straight to PS4. And the Xbox scene was so many positives for us. I would say I say now with confidence that we were the largest European Xbox-based organisation in Call of Duty, and yes, that may not mean a lot now, but back then it was, and we were looked at as one of the best teams. There was 3 top teams there, but it was a nice little circle, and it was nice to be in the presence and feel that first feeling of we're actually relevant in some way. And not only that, but people are starting to follow us, people are starting to like us, we're starting to grow personalities, we're starting to grow plays within the brand. And that's when I was like, okay, I like doing this. I like putting time into this, and I like this as a hobby. But you know, can we take it further? Is it possible to do that? And is it possible for me, you know, end goal of turning this into a job? And this was 2016, so I'm 16 at this point. You know, I registered it as a company, stuff like that. I wouldn't even say that's notable. Anyone can register as a company for like £7 on the internet. But it was another step into legitimising what we are. So moving forward, you know, we won a couple of tournaments. We won a couple of VAL tournaments. I think EG was back then too. Again, nothing truly notable, but it was wins. But one thing to mention is we released our first episode of Inside Radiant. Inside Radiant is also known as Heat now. You may know it. It's our documentary series. Back then, it wasn't any real life footage. It was literally me talking on mic like I'm doing now, and us playing games and people talking. I just remember a lot of me sitting on Skype with Puxer and with our players, and just open up OBS, asking them questions, and they're recording it. And it took hours. It took hours because we were laughing, we were having fun, and we're just not taking it seriously at all. But what a time that was! And we released that, and I think it's hit 1,000 views or something like that. And back then, that was pretty decent. We had a pretty decent loyal fan base that was interested in this type of content, and this was new. Back then, the only people that actually did something like that was, let's say, Vision, Optics Vision, and that was like the top end line. And that was our first insight of, okay, we've got a fan base here that wants to see content from us. They want to learn more about us. They like us. They enjoy our presence in the scene, but they want more. Where do we go from now? And I think Black Ops 3 was a big boost in numbers. It was a big boost in our fan base that followed us on to other titles, and we're lucky to have that, to be honest, because a lot of esports organisations, they have their Call of Duty fan base that is only interested in Call of Duty. We managed to take on some Call of Duty, you know, a main Call of Duty Xbox audience, and say, right, take interest in Halo, take interest in CSGO, our other titles that we're offering, we're fielding teams in. I mentioned Halo, that brings me on to my next point. HCS events. We started off with Spenny. Love Spenny to bits. He's a super good guy, and I wouldn't even say they were the best team there. They were far from it, if anything. We were the underdogs in most situations, but it was that presence at events, wearing our jerseys, that didn't cost too much out of my pocket. You know, I'm 16, 17. It's not viable to fully fund teams at this stage, but having our first attendance at events, and then having a highlight video that was done by Kanan, edited up and uploaded on YouTube, was just a really proud moment for me, because it was like, our jerseys are actually, people are seeing it, people are seeing the brand. And that was when that was one of the peak times for Radiant, just because that was our first step into real life content, into actually moving away from, let's say, a Twitter org stance into an actual esports organisation. It was a weird feeling, but it was a proud feeling. As a father, if you want to look at it like that, because, you know, Radiant is literally my baby little boy. So attended HCS events, and then I say our next big move was when we picked up money matches. You know, I don't have too many good things to say about them now. They're not, you know, they're not the most legit company out there in esports, far from it, if that. But they gave us a budget of, I'm not going to say the certain amount, but that gave us the opportunity to pick up a pro team for HCS Denver. We attended at HCS Denver. We took, you know, a couple teams down, one notable team being XL. It was back then was Halo, and we placed top 16, I can't even explain it in words. It was such a nice feeling for me, because we've placed top 16, and we're talking brands like Optic, Splice, for example, the top brands in the world at that point that I'd looked up to for ages, and we're sitting among them. They're seeing us, you know what I mean? Just them seeing our logo and recognising us is crazy. And talking about Optic, we get to play Optic I think it was a year later, at the end of 2017, when we had a Dota 2 team. We played Optic, and we got 3-0'd, but it was still having that presence of, they've seen our logo, you know what I mean? They've seen that when they're playing against us. And that's just a nice feeling to have. It's a nice little warm feeling to have. And coming back from HCS Denver, we were like, okay, this is our chance. We need to full throttle. This is where we can, you know, capture the audience and properly take advantage of this. And we didn't take advantage of enough, to be honest, because if we did, we'd be at a much better stance. But like I said, I'm 17. I've got a job. I've got sixth form. I've got priorities that I can't pump this much resource and time into my little baby. So moving down, it's a bit of a fast forward in time, but our first proper event, I would say, this is Cedarwell Birmingham. So this is my first actual event, me in attendance. We took AJ, Logica and Pascal, and Bri. And this was, I knew we weren't going to place extremely well, but it was more of a chance of, let's go speak to companies, because it was that Insomnia that, partnered with Insomnia, excuse me. This was a chance for us to go speak to companies, interact, network, meet players. I was super nervous because I'd never been to an event before. It's the first time you wearing my jersey. I didn't know if people were going to judge me for how I look, or it's all these thoughts that go through your head when you attend your first event. But after coming out of that event, and after spending 3 days with my mates, it was, I feel I can't even mention it. You get addicted to events after that, and you just want to attend more, you want to meet more people, and I can't explain it. Like, I'm always nervous for events, but once you delve into it, and once you get into it, it's unreal feeling. Just the excitement of you just wanting to get more and wanting to interact with more people is crazy. But walking away from there, I met Scott there. I met Scott at the event, and he helped edit Heat, which was, a reformed documentary series, no longer Inside Radiant, Heat. So Heat, obviously Radiant, Bruce Fire, it's a dragon. There you go. You get the idea. But so at that event, I managed to speak to GT Omega, I managed to speak to X Gamer. We signed them as partners. Cool. Everything was going we were people were looking at us with a bit more, I don't want to say respect, but seriousness. Even if that even a word, I don't know. But people were looking and going, okay, Radiant's maybe an organisation to watch. Maybe they're actually making moves for once now and actually taking this a little bit more seriously. The first episode of Heat release, fast forwarding a little bit more, we went to Cedarwell, Las Vegas, which was crazy. We went across the pond again. Denver was awesome, but obviously I wasn't present, so it didn't really feel like a proper event. It didn't really soak in. But Las Vegas, wow, can I tell you, that was probably one of the best times of my life. We had the Las Vegas house, which was sponsored by Origin GG. That was our first proper sponsor investment, which helped cover that house. And wow, what an investment that was. I wouldn't, as much as it was a lot of money, and that sponsor money could have been stretched further away and used a lot in a much more smarter way. But that experience at Las Vegas was something that we had 16 people at one point around that house, and I'm sure they'll never forget that, and they'll always have Radiant attached to that in their head. And I think you can't take away moments like that. And yes, it was a lot of money, and it might have been a so-called wasted investment, comparing it to what else you could have done with that money. But wow, what an experience, and what an experience for everybody that there was. And I don't think, if you speak to everybody that was attending, HJ, Cal, Brick, too many people to mention, they will always have something good to say about it, because wow, when I'm speaking about now, I just smile and I get so excited because it was unreal. We had the Radiant house over there for a week. It was immense. If you haven't watched the content that came out of that, you need to watch it. Obviously, we released another Heat episode. Actual performance at the event wasn't too good. We went to round. We played 3 matches and we were out basically, so it wasn't too good at all. But that being said, to counter that, the house was immense. The content that came out of it was immense, and we managed to speak to brands like Scuff and stuff like that. It's just connecting, it's networking at the end of the day, and it's exciting. It was super, super exciting to even be there. Be there, in America as our brand, wearing our jerseys with all your mates. It's a weird feeling. But I mean, fast forwarding a little bit more, a few more notable things to mention. The last 2 years, our amateur teams, our Call of Duty amateur teams have been playing immensely. Like we're super, super lucky to working with some of the best young talent out there. Billy Busted, Henry, Sayan, Gizmo, Welsh Geordie, Johnny, just to name a few at least. Runner too. Absolute monsters that I don't have a single bad word to say about them. They brought us home some trophies. We've got 2 trophies behind me. We also won the EU Amateur Organisation of the Year, which is a nice little gesture. So we've got 3 trophies behind us, and you could probably also see the medal hanging down. That came from EG Malta. So we went to EG Malta with the intention of winning, with the intention of recording the Heat episode. We did. That's sitting around 800 views, I think, now. We placed second, which was obviously a bummer for us, but I think me being there, standing behind these lads that it kind of grew up with me. You know, Sane had been under the brand for 2 years at that point, 2 or 3 years at that point. So that was crazy for me to stand behind some guy that had helped grow this brand for so long and support him in, you know, in real life, standing behind him playing the games, playing Call of Duty. So EG Mall was again an immense event, and you know, content coming out of that was again really good. And I think that's kind of leads me on to what future plans are for Radiant, or where do we go next. So at the moment, obviously, we're in Call of Duty lightly, with just off-season events, off-season tournaments and stuff like that, and we're in the UKEL. So the UKEL, we're obviously super excited to be accepted into that. I still want to build onto League of Legends. You know, I've met some really cool people from the League of Legends scene. I want to dedicate more time to it, and I want to pursue it as a proper esport for Radiant. It all just states at this current moment we have to play another match on Monday, which decides if we go to playoffs or not, and that will kind of decide if we want to, you know, venture more into League of Legends or if we don't. But future prospects, that's not even a word, prospects. I think we really want to aim for entertainment, less esports, more entertainment. And don't get me wrong, we're always going to have esports as a subsidiary on the side of things. But I really want to focus on content and really want to focus on entertainment, because I think that at the moment is what we're best at. And our social media presence and our content creators and our streamers, they can help that grow. And I think content is something our audience needs, our audience is begging for, and that's what we need to supply. So coming in the next couple months, we're looking at uploading 8 videos a day. So you can expect way more content coming from us, rather than, you know, 3 months breaks where we don't upload a single video. So look out for that. But yeah, it's, you know, looking at 17 minutes now, but that is the history of Radiant. I tried to keep it short, to be honest. I thought this was going to be a 10-minute video, but it's not. But that's just a brief summary. I could go into way more detail. I didn't even talk about the logo incident, which I totally forgot about. If you do want to see that, comment down below and I'll make a video about that. But I love doing videos like this. You guys seem to really like it too. I just haven't had the time these days just to turn on the camera and speak for 20 minutes, because I also have to edit it up, so it's a little bit difficult. But wow. Yeah, nostalgia. 4 years of Radiant Esports. Here's to another 4 years, I guess. Guys, let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you would like to see from us here at Radiant. You know, we're looking at 8 videos a month now, moving ahead to next month. So let me know what you want to see. If you've got any more ideas for, you know, for games for us to play or content for us to upload, please give us a shout. A lot of us are still local to each other in the Birmingham area, so we can do, you know, IRL content at the end of the day. But yeah, like I said already, here's to another 4 years, and thank you guys very much for supporting us, and I hope you support us again, leading up to the next 4 years, next 10 years, we don't know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.